Character Options' first Doctor Who release for 2025 has been revealed, and it is a third Doctor Jon Pertwee extravaganza. This is the next release in the Vortex edition line, the current sort of run of online exclusives that Character has been doing with, higher specification in terms of decoration and stuff. And yeah, it kind of collects together all sorts of Third Doctor themed items, both from the 5.5-inch figure range and also from the larger full-size sonic screwdriver range. So let's take a look at the contents of this Third Doctor set, beginning with a brand new figure of the Third Doctor himself, a new variant using the existing body, specifically with the cape and the cravat shirt piece and the full-length trouser legs, and a brand new head sculpt depicting Jon Pertwee with shorter hair as he appears, towards the start of his time in his earlier seasons as the Doctor. That's a really, really nice inclusion. It's the first new Third Doctor head sculpt we've had, since the first ever Third Doctor figure, and all the variants released in the years, since 2009 have used that one head sculpt with the longer hair, which doesn't always work quite so well, for like season 9 or 8 or 7 figures. I mean, this is the first season 8 variant we've had, technically, I suppose. I suppose all those figures really have kind of come from season 9 onwards. And now that we have this head sculpt, it perhaps opens up the possibility and the option, to do more early Third Doctor variants. Perhaps, a season 7 variant from Spearhead from Space or something like that. That'd be really, really nice to see. I will say it does seem like a bit of an odd choice to include it here because this figure is meant to be from The Demons, the final story of season 8, and I don't remember the Third Doctor's hair being all that short in that story. I kind of think that maybe, in this case, the existing head sculpt would have done the job, but I suppose they wanted to give us something new. It's an existing body, so they can't do anything there, and yeah, you can't really argue about that. It's a new head sculpt, it's nice to have. In terms of the body, as I say, this is the Third Doctor's costume from The Demons, that story in Season 8. It's a very loved fan story set in Devil's End. I believe he only wears this costume in that story, although different elements like the purple-lined cape, the red jacket kind of debut earlier in the season. But yes, the specific version with the cravat is unique to The Demons. It looks nice enough. I think the existing body has pretty much done the job here. At one point of contention, which you will all find out more about when you eventually get your copies of Go Figure and read about the Third Doctor figures and variants we've had, is that the existing sculpt has buttons for the jackets, but a lot of Jon Pertwee's costumes had frog fastenings instead, and in many cases they've been painted over the buttons on figure variants, including here, so you can see there, the frog fastenings there have been painted on. They're not sculpted, but they are included nevertheless over that inaccurate sculpt. And likewise, the existing hands, because they're ungloved, do contain sculpted rings. It seems they have used those same hands here, so yes, even though they're meant to be gloved, they will still include the rings there if you look really closely, but to be honest, who's looking? Of course, the head uses the now standard moulded in colour technique, which is where the head is moulded in the skin colour rather than that being painted over the top afterwards, which just allows us to see the sculpt and the intricacies of the sculpt better. That's been in use now since 2023 with things like the Ultimate Adventure 6th Doctor, with the Fugitive Doctor, with recent stuff like the B&M River Song and the 15th Doctor and Ruby last year. So that is very much what they're doing now with these figures, and I'm assuming that'll be the norm as well for other Vortex edition figures, where maybe, they're using existing bodies, maybe there's a new head sculpt or the odd bit of new tooling, but one of the other kind of features of them is the fact that they have this higher specification decoration. In terms of accessories, we have 3 5.5-inch accessories. So one which I guess comes from, multiple stories in the form of the Sonic Screwdriver, and 2 which don't come from this story at all, but from other Third Doctor stories, other Third Doctor seasons. So it's more of a kind of a mix of items from the Third Doctor's era, kind of iconic bits and pieces. So yes, we have the Sonic Screwdriver, which I don't think has been included with the Third Doctor figure since the 13 Doctors set in 2016, so that's a very, very welcome accessory to see included here. All the B&M Third Doctors have come without it. Now newer collectors have a chance to finally pick one up. Then we have the Crystal of Kronos from the Time Monster in Season 9, which was previously included alongside the Roger Delgado Master in the set with him and the Computer Bank TARDIS in, I want to say, 2010, 2011, something like that. and a giant maggot from the Green Death in season 10, one of the ones originally included with the Third Doctor and Maggots, that set back in 2009, specifically the one that's kind of pointing its mouth upwards. And the decoration on both of these has been revised slightly, which allows those original versions to retain some of their value. So the crystal now has a more of a kind of purple hue, originally it was just colourless, and the maggot seems to have kind of a darker shade of green used for the slime on its underside. Very, very nice to see all those accessories return to the line after many years away. That crystal and that maggot in particular are not very easy to get hold of, so it's great that they're out there again now, being reproduced. And it's an interesting approach to kind of have a Third Doctor figure with accessories, not from that same story that the costume is from, but from across his era, kind of like as an overview for his era. Yeah, I like that, and I can kind of see that working for other Doctors as well, where perhaps we could have some newly sculpted accessories we haven't seen before in the line included there as well. The set is rounded off with a full-size Third Doctor's sonic screwdriver, so you have the miniature version and the full-size version. This one has been released before, but not for many years. I think the first release came in 2009. It then appeared a couple of times in the sonic screwdriver waves that we had from 2013 to 2015, but this new revised release boasts a electroplated, shiny, metallic finish, which we haven't seen on any classic series sonic screwdrivers before. We have seen it on the 15th Doctor sonic screwdriver and the 14th Doctor sonic screwdriver before that, but not on the classic ones, and that kind of is obviously more true to how the props appeared on screen, so is very, very nice to see. A couple of other revisions to this that I can see as well, comparing it to the original release. So that kind of top red ring is a darker kind of browner shade, and the stripes are the thicker versions that were introduced on the final sonic screwdriver wave release, I think in 2015, I want to say. The press release doesn't note which particular sound chip you will get with this Sonic. I know it's been a source of contention for fans and collectors over the years, because sometimes they include the correct, era authentic sounds, sometimes they just default to the new series sounds. So that'll be very interesting to see, but regardless, yeah, this looks really, really nice. It's really nice that they've started taking that electroplated effect and applying it to the other classic series sonic screwdrivers. Again, might we see them all re-released in this style? Who knows, but I think it would be a very welcome move, because obviously, they're improved versions of the originals, and those Sonics have not been available, to the mass markets for years. So yeah, great to see that begin here, hopefully more to come. So this Third Doctor and Sonic Screwdriver Vortex Edition set is available to order now from the Character Options website as an online exclusive. It retails for £44.99, so £5 more than the Second Doctor and TARDIS set from the Abominable Snowmen, making it the most expensive online exclusive set to date. Yeah, what do I think about that? Well, I guess, yeah, it does seem like a lot when you put it that way. I think it probably is worth it, given what you're getting, brand new Third Doctor figure variants, 3 accessories, all of which, really, particularly the Maggot and the Crystal, are very hard to get hold of, and then the Sonic Screwdriver as well, which also hasn't been available for many years with that new electroplated finish. Yeah, I guess if you split it up and say, £20 for the figure, £20 for the Sonic, £5 for the accessories, that's quite a bargain, really. And it has been produced in limited numbers, not sure exactly how many units, but as with all these online exclusives, if you want to get it, while it's still there before it sells out, go and buy it as soon as possible. And if you want to support the line as well, go and buy it. If you want to see more of these sets in the future, hopefully there will be more to come. I mean, any Doctor would work really, really nicely in this format. I think the opportunity to update parts of the tooling and also include newly sculpted accessories, hopefully further down the line, is really exciting, and I think these sets have a lot of potential. I think the format of a figure and a big Sonic and a few accessories works really nicely and kind of makes for a nice collector's item, so yeah, thumbs up here from me. But what do you think of this set? Will you be ordering one? Have you ordered one already? And which other Doctors would you like to see receive similar sets in the future? What should they include? Which accessories? Which variant should they make? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Please leave a like if you have enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more Doctor Who toy news in the future as and when it comes. But otherwise, until the next one, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye for now.